If you are an initial D fan, then the initial D games just feel so cool to play, like you literally feel like Takumi while drifting. There's quite a lot of initial D games, but we are mainly gonna be focusing on the street stage and arcade stages 1 to 8, because I don't think you wanna play like whatever this shit is.
Linganguli guli guli water lingangu lingangu ling.
There's also another cool initial D game called the Arcade, but unfortunately it only got released in Japan. I forgot to mention the latest arcade stage called Arcade Zero. Now that I mentioned the best initial D games, let's actually talk about Street Stage. So first things first, you're gonna have to choose a car. Now I personally like to use the Lancer Evo 7 because it just feels so good, like it's literally fast and turns really good. You can choose the 862 if you want, but you might want to upgrade it down the line because it just feels so slow while racing the last opponents. You can also choose any other car if you want, as long as it feels good for you. And don't worry, you can change it for free as many times as you want. Now that you've chosen a car, you're gonna have to choose whether you want to play with automatic transmission or manual transmission. I personally chose the automatic transmission because I simply got used to it, but if you can, try to get used to manual transmission because it is better for erasers, which we will be talking about later. Now you are ready to race. I don't wanna talk too much about the races and all, I just wanna give some essential tips. But if you want me to make a video about how to win every race in Street Stage, make sure to leave a comment. Now let's talk about the basics. You have an acceleration bind, a brake, a downshift, and if you are a manual transmission you also have an upshift bind. Now I will talk about erasers. An eraser is, to put it simply, downshifting in a corner in order to turn faster. This is what it looks like. There are more advanced techniques than this, but this is an essential since it is useful and not that hard to learn. Now let's talk about some stupid things about this game. The third person camera doesn't turn with your car, which makes it hard to know how much you have to turn in corners. Now this was eventually fixed in some of the arcade games. For some reason your car automatically accelerates if you don't do anything. Now this would make sense downhill, but uphill it makes no sense. As you can see from this video, in this race there is a maximum distance between me and the C-Lady of 90 meters, but when you are behind the distance is way bigger. Another annoying thing is the fact that if you try to bump your opponent's car from behind, your car feels slippery, but if your opponent bumps you from behind, it is also your car that feels slippery. Now let's answer the question, is Initial D Street Stage still a good game in 2025? In my opinion, yes. It is still a really fun game even though it is 22 years old, but I still recommend playing the newer arcade stages if you can, since those have better graphics. But if your PC cannot run those games or you wanna play the games in order, it is still good.